see you all again and spending time together. I really enjoy this time. And I'm happy to announce that tomorrow, today's Sunday, tomorrow is the first day of spring. Yay. And I noticed, well, actually my friend noticed when she was here, that we have buds on our lilac bushes. I'm pretty sure everybody, or most everybody listening, loves the scent of lilacs. I know I do, so I'm very excited about that. Anyway, let's get on with the recording of the blog. The title this week is called, What is My Spiritual Purpose? Which I think is something that we all think about, even if we feel like we are on one. Should we do more? Should we up our game? Should we, go to the next level? So that's what we're going to be talking about. And it's a tough question for many of us. Unless we have a calling to be a spiritual teacher, healer, minister, rabbi, or priest, for example, we may struggle with finding the answer. Living here on the earth plane often feels like our spiritual life and our physical life are separate from each other or compartmentalized. Unless where we work is of a spiritual nature, we don't even really think about our soul and how we can fulfill our spiritual purpose doing what we're doing at work. We may set aside our one day a week to go to church, temple, or mosque to connect with our God part. And doing so can offer us momentary food for our souls and help us feel as if we're fulfilling our obligation. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, 1 hour a week spending with our God within can, but doesn't always, help us live our everyday, seemingly unspiritual lives in a very spiritual and meaningful way. However, if our job that offers us a way to make a living and create material abundance is not at all fulfilling, or worse, it runs contrary to the very beliefs, morals, ethics, and spiritual principles that we hold dear, that's a different story. It may cause, at the least, feelings of emptiness or lack of purpose. At most, it may trigger conflict within us as we're forced to kind of turn our backs on what we believe to be right and just, merely for a paycheck. Staying in a job out of fear that we will never make as much money if we left to do something that really stirs our spirit can lead to many years of simply existing and never really feeling like we're living our best and most soulful lives. When I was in the middle of my awful divorce and custody struggle, I know you've heard this a million times, but I turned to spiritual inner work to get me through it. I studied everything and deeply wanted to share what I learned. At that time, I worked at a local restaurant, and one night I was talking to a coworker about all things spiritual. We were also talking about the fact that I had to find a job that was better suited for being a full-time single mom if I wanted to win custody of my children. And I knew that working nights and weekends was not ideal. So she listened to me and then she said, you know what? You should be a massage therapist. She said, they're all kind of weird and spiritual, just like you. So if you're wondering, I didn't take offense to the weird comment. I am a bit different, but in a way, I consider my eccentricity to be one of my superpowers, which we all have something that is a superpower for us. Her words, though, ignited an intense feeling of like inner knowingness. That's kind of how spirit works. We hear something, we don't know why, but we get this feeling of knowing we've got to know more. So I never really quite felt that before, but the words planted a seed in the shadowy corners of my mind and began to germinate. I had never even had a massage, but I immediately knew I had to investigate. So I found a local massage school, made an appointment to tour the school, and if I liked what I saw, applied for admissions. On the 45-minute drive to the appointment, an inner dialogue took place between my fearful ego mind and my higher self. Why are you even bothering to pursue this? My negative lower self demanded. Massage school's expensive. The legal divorce proceedings have depleted your bank accounts. The house being in foreclosure destroyed your credit, so you'll never get financial aid. You really need to be realistic right now and just give this up so you won't be disappointed. Don't worry about the details. Everything's going to work out, countered my higher and more positive self. You need to trust your intuitive feelings that told you to pursue what lies behind this doorway. You've got to believe in yourself and have confidence that your soul and your team of light are guiding you toward your spiritual path and purpose, the path that God wants for you. The conversation went on and on. That wasn't the end, but it went on for almost the entire length of the drive. However, in the end, my higher self prevailed. The tour of the school was wonderful, and I qualified for admission. The only hurdle was, how in the world was I going to afford it? While speaking to the financial aid office, I learned of a program called VESID, Vocational Educational Services for Individuals with Disabilities. She said my severe genetic hearing disability might just qualify me for assistance, but it was probably a long shot, and the VESID program was a long process. But I was willing to try anything. So I called and made an appointment with VESID, and she was right. During the group meeting, I learned it was a lengthy process and would most likely result in me being placed in a job that will accommodate my hearing disability, not going back to school. I felt disheartened but determined at the same time. Now, after the group meeting, I met with my counselor who interviewed me. He was a gracious, soft-spoken, elderly gentleman. And he asked this. He said, "So who is Drusilla? What does she want her life and legacy to be? And why does she want to go to school for massage therapy?" Without any forethought, I just began to speak clearly and passionately. This strange, warm sensation came over me as I spoke. I didn't think about what to say. The words just came through me as if from another place. I felt so inspired. And I just spoke my soul's truth, shared my spiritual dreams and aspirations and passions, and how I thought that massage therapy was the perfect place to help me do my life's work. So this kindly counselor listened attentively, and without saying a word, he just listened. When I finished, then he spoke. "So, Drusilla," he said, "when does the next session begin for the massage program?" "Tomorrow," I said. However, knowing the vested process took months and believing there was no way I could attend the next session, I continued, "But the next session begins in January." This was October. He looked at me, smiled, and picked up the phone. He said, "I'm calling the school and giving them a verbal approval over the phone," he announced. "You will start tomorrow. I believe in you, and I'm offering you a 100% grant. Anything you need, books, Tai Chi uniform, massage table, just have them call VESID and it will be paid for." Wow. Needless to say, I never expected that, and I was stunned. I wondered if I'd misunderstood what he had said. And for a moment, I just couldn't speak. Finally, through jubilant tears, I simply replied, "I just don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I feel like a miracle just happened." And I still do. He smiled and handed me a tissue. He promised he'd look in on me from time to time. And he thought I was going to be one of VESID's big success stories. VESID even bought me new hearing aids to help me through my upcoming journey. That was almost 30 years ago, and the beginning of the unfolding of my soul's path and purpose. Massage therapy did turn out to be the perfect vehicle to allow my gifts of spirit to awaken and unfold. My heightened intuition and ability to read people's energy helped them heal. The most incredible thing that happened was that as I worked to help others, I was helping myself as well. As I talked to clients, it felt as if spirit again was moving through me and giving me the words to say and the wise advice that the clients needed to hear. The uncanny thing is, though, that though it was me speaking, I was listening at the same time. So what came through for my clients was something I needed to hear as well. The synchronicity was remarkable. The reason for sharing my story with you is twofold. The first is that we can use our soul's power and follow our spiritual path no matter what we are doing for a living. Every human encounter is an opportunity to choose love and kindness. If we want to actively do more soul's work, no matter where we're working, we can ask our team of light how that can be possible. And they will respond in ways that are not possible to predict. Their ability to send us situations and people who need our soul's light and our genuine compassion is incredible. We may find our days filled with light-filled moments amidst all the meetings and paperwork and deadlines. We're doing our thing. We're spreading our light and our love and our positivity. The second is, if we really want to transition into a more spiritual practice, but don't know how that could possibly happen, just have faith. I never thought my dream of massage school would come to fruition in the miraculous way it did. Yet I believe it was meant to be. It was where God wanted me to be so that I could do work for the good of humanity, myself, the world. It was just miraculous and again, unpredictable for me. Our soul's main purpose was simply to come to the earth plane with a generous and open heart and a pocket full of love dust to sprinkle everywhere we go throughout our lives. And the details around that purpose aren't nearly as important. So that's the end of the blog. And it's pretty complete. So there's really not that much to say, but you know me, I have to put in my last 2 cents. But the point of the whole thing is that just deciding to come to the earth plane to live out a lifetime here is our purpose. And as souls being love, that's what we're made of. That's our main purpose, is to come here and make things better by sharing our soul's light, by being the love that we are. And that love will spread like wildfire for as many people as we come in contact with, even if we're not talking about spiritual stuff. Just who we are, how we conduct our lives, how we speak to others and respect other people and really listen to people and allow them to share their heartache and pain. And so it doesn't really matter where you are. Just have the intention. That's all that it takes, is just you get up in the morning and you say, how may I serve? What is it that you want me to do? Where to go? What to say? For me, I say, my hands are your hands, because I do massage. Please allow the light of your love to come through me and allow the person to feel that love. And they'll take that love with them and they'll spread that love to other people. So I hope you enjoyed this week's blog. Again, comments are wonderfully helpful for all of us. But big time, I hope you will enjoy the first day of spring. Get outside and go look around, look up. I always love the first bud break of the season. Look around and find that, and it'll make your day. Okay, everyone, so enjoy your week ahead, and I will see you next time. Namaste.